Good morning. I'm Krista Peterson, and I'd like to welcome you to Armanino McKenna's webinar, Executive Compensation Strategies for Nonprofits. Before I have the pleasure of introducing our two speakers today, I'd like to take care of a few housekeeping items. First of all, I'd like to review for you how to use the webinar pane. You'll see the pane in front of you. Please note that the orange arrow will allow you to maximize or minimize the pane. If it is minimized and you'd like to submit a question for our presenters, simply click on the orange arrow to bring it back. Feel free to submit your questions at any time throughout the webinar. Our presenters will handle them at the end of the webinar as time permits. Secondly, I'd like to go over our audio settings. If you're using your telephone to listen, please make sure you click Use Telephone. And if you are listening through your computer's mic and speakers, it's important to select Mic and Speakers. If you have the incorrect setting, it will produce an echo sound. Finally, this is very important to note that to qualify for California CE, you must use a personal computer, no PDAs, and log in with your own information and unique URL. You must be logged into our online software for at least 50 consecutive minutes within the scheduled time frame of this webinar. And please actively respond to at least 75% of the polling questions spaced throughout. And complete the evaluation survey at the end of the webinar. If you do these things, you will qualify for CE credit and you will receive your certificate in the mail following the webinar. Now I'd like to introduce our two presenters. First, Lynn Henley. Lynn is a nonprofit tax partner in our San Francisco office. She joined Armanino McKenna in November 2011. Previously, she was a partner in the San Francisco office of Hood & Strong. During her 17 years of experience in public accounting, Lynn has provided consulting and compliance services to a variety of tax-exempt organizations, including public charities, private foundations, supporting organizations, social welfare organizations, labor unions, social clubs, and business leagues. Lynn holds a master's degree in taxation from San Francisco State University and an undergraduate degree from UC Berkeley. She belongs to the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the California Society of Certified Public Accountants. Lynn also serves as a member on the AICPA Task Force on the Form 990 program guides and organizer revisions. Thank you, Lynn, for being here today. Also, I'd like to introduce you to our second presenter, Julia Wholeian. Julia has over 15 years of recruiting, sales, and operations management experience, including executive search, hiring best practices, compensation planning and analysis, employee retention strategy, team building, and succession planning. Julia has hired, developed, and grown multi-million-dollar teams and has led them to numerous awards throughout her career. And as a director at Armanino McKenna, she manages our company's executive search practice, including retained and contingent search services. And for today, her expertise is very much appreciated in compensation analysis and review. Julia earned her degree from Northwestern. So let me cover our learning objectives. During today's webinar, you will examine the compensation trends in the nonprofit sector with our two subject matter experts, review current and deferred compensation and Form 990 reporting, identify intermediate sanctions and excess benefit transactions, otherwise known as IRC Section 4958. And finally, we'll assess how to establish a rebuttal presumption of reasonableness, and Julia will share what is involved with a